judging righteous judgment is also another thing that people don't understand. They sit there and they go, we can judge righteously. John 7:24, right? So let's go to John 7. Let me put it in here. Right? This is something that people sit there and they go, well, if we judge righteously, we can judge. And they think that, and then they utilize that to judge people righteously. But what is the context of John chapter 7? Who is speaking? What is Jesus doing at Galilee? What is he doing here? You guys get it? So I'm going to show you guys how to judge righteously and what this verse that's often misconstrued and almost weaponized to then thump people and make them feel bad. It's not a good thing. So if you just read in context, out of context, one verse, John 7:24, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Then they'll sit there and say, okay, I'm not going to judge against the appearance. Even that, people judge against appearance. But I'm going to judge a righteous judgment with the Bible. That's not what it says. Do you know where the context is? The context is in verse 15. Let's read. So remember, you cannot read one out of a whole book, read one line and be like, I know what it's talking about. You cannot, right? Biblically, and just that would be just ignorant, right? And arrogant. 15. And the Jews marveled. So who is he speaking to right now? Who is the people, the Jews, the Israelites, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Right then and there, judgment. How did they judge him? This guy doesn't know the Bible. That's the first heart. You guys see that? How do they know that Jesus doesn't know the word? He is the word. Come on. But look at what they did immediately. Because they think they knew the word, what did they start with? Oh, I know the word, you don't. And then they judged him. So that's the context here. And then he says, Jesus answered, 16. Jesus answered him and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So this word is from God, is what he's saying. Verse 17, watch this. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. So if you knew the word, he's telling them, you would know the difference between the two. Whether I speak on my own accord or I speak about God, right? He's talking about spiritual discernment here. Verse 18, he that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Inside of this person, there is what? No unrighteousness. Wow. What does the Bible preach? Righteousness or unrighteousness? How do we receive righteousness? Through Jesus. So Johnny Chang's message is always, you're righteous, you're holy, you're sanctified, you're justified. So we can judge righteousness. How? Through the gospel. We can tell if a person is saved or not saved. Just like this. This is what righteous judgment is. What is true unrighteousness to God? Being a sinner. So God is saying, if you sit there in order to judge righteousness and judge righteously, first and foremost, there must not be any unrighteousness in you. So you cannot say you're a sinner. You have to say you're perfected, Hebrews 10:14, forever. You have to say you're holy because Jesus made you holy. You have to be a believer. What he's telling them is you're not even a believer. That's what he's checking them nicely. What is he calling them? Hypocrites. You claim, who is he speaking to? He's speaking to the rabbinic Jews, the ones who don't believe in the Messiah, which is Jesus. He's saying, okay, Jesus gave you the commandment. Moses gave you commandments, but you don't even keep the commandments, yet you come and you want to kill me? Interesting. You are a sinner judging another person for sinning differently. Somehow that's okay. That's the context here. Are you guys following me? He's trying to explain to them, hey, you're hypocritical. So now he's teaching them what it means. You cannot judge is what he's saying because you don't even keep the laws, but you're trying to kill somebody for doing the same exact thing that you're doing. Sheesh. Are you guys following me here? What did the Pharisees call Jesus? A devil. That's demonic. Blasphemy. Why? Because what Jesus did was he pricked their hearts by telling them the truth. He didn't pass judgment. He told the truth. Just because you make a truth claim does not mean it's a judgment. For example, if I sit there and I say, Johnny, you're Chinese, right? That is the truth. I am literally Chinese. That's not what you're racist. You don't like Chinese people? No. That's true. If a pathological liar is lying all the time and you call him a pathological liar, that is not a judgment. That's an observation. That is a truth claim, a claim of truth. Are you guys following me? So they sit there and they judge him. They call him because he's preaching righteousness here and saying that we're all sinners. But if you want to judge, you can only have unrighteousness because Jesus and God are the ones who have righteousness in their hearts. They cannot have no unrighteousness, right? Then you can't judge is what he's saying here unless you have righteousness in you and no unrighteousness in you. God is literally telling them, right? You call me the devil and you yourself sin. Sin is from the devil. Where is the posture of these Pharisees and these Sadducees? Where is their heart, guys? It's high. If I'm a sinner, what am I doing sitting here judging somebody else who sins too? That would make me a prideful, arrogant person. He's telling them, you're prideful, arrogant, egotistical people, but you're judging me who's humble for being humble. And because I tell the truth, you want to kill me. And when he pricks them, they then double down and call him the devil. Imagine calling God to his face the devil. That is blasphemy. God is opposite of the devil. God is good. The devil is 100% evil. To sit there and say that God is the devil is blasphemous. But how can they do this? Because they thought that they were righteous. They thought they were good. What Jesus merely is saying to these people, and what Johnny Chang is saying the same, is that we're all evil. We shouldn't judge. We should seek the good and the one who's only good. But then they get angry at us for saying that. It's the same heart, guys. You guys got that, right? This is what it means to judge righteous judgment.